What's going on, y'all? What it is. So let's go ahead and slide on this topic, and I just want to let you guys know up front I have some more electrifying news in regards to Diddy and some things that was left out of Cassie's lawsuit. And when I tell you what it is, it's off the chain. I'm telling you guys, for real, for real. Now, before we go any further, I want to ask you guys to consider doing two things. The first thing is that I want you guys to consider following me on Instagram in case something happens here. That way we can stay connected, all right? And also, if you're someone who sent me an email and I haven't responded yet, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just flooded with emails and I'll get back to you soon. And don't forget, you can always DM me on the gram, all right? And it's all good. Now, the second thing I want you guys to consider doing is sharing this video, because this information goes really deep. I'm not trying to overhype it. I'm just keeping it all the way 100. Now, something else just crossed my mind that I want to add, if I may. Now, to all the content creators out there, listen, I'm not talking to anybody specifically, because if I was, I would call your name out. Trust me. I see a lot of people playing around with this content surrounding Diddy, right? Especially a lot of dudes. You need to be careful, because I have to make some life-altering changes because of me being so outspoken and talking about this situation surrounding Diddy. This is not a game. This is not for entertainment purposes only. Some of y'all out here putting out this frivolous content and thinking it's all a game, and it's not. Some of us are fortunate to have connections to people that worked for Diddy, that were around Diddy on a day-to-day basis. Some of us are fortunate to have connections to people that were close to Kim Porter and Kimora. Some of us, if we were to be sued, we have all of our ducks in a row, and we wouldn't be looking stupid in the court of law. Do you? Ask yourself that before you come to the internet playing with folks, okay? Just keeping it all the way real. But anyway, let's go ahead and move along. Now, I do want to touch base on this Christian Keys situation, because there's a lot of people giving him the side eye right now. They're not believing him in regards to his claims that a melanated billionaire SA'd him and things of that nature. And a lot of people are saying that he's giving Jussie Smollett energy, right? And even though the two cases are not necessarily the same, people are still saying that he's giving off that Jussie Smollett vibe. Now, I'm one of those people that try not to convict someone in the court of public opinion unless you're Diddy. I'm the cat that tries to remain neutral, because I feel like everybody deserves the right to due process. But a lot of people think differently, and you know, they have their own opinions. Now, I will be honest and tell you that the one thing that I did look at with a raised eyebrow was the fact that when he kept mentioning that this wasn't about money, the reason why he was coming forth wasn't about him trying to get a bag. That's why he waited until the New York Survivors Act expired. And it made me think, are you trying to make this appear like it's not for a bag, but you're really going for the bag? Which also made me think that some of these violations that were apparently made by this billionaire took place in New York. Now, two things could be true at the same time. Christian Keys could be definitely telling the truth here, and I'm not saying that he's not. It just made me raise an eyebrow when he kept mentioning that this wasn't about the bag. But I'm also thinking that it's not about holding the person accountable that allegedly violated you. This is about getting some type of money behind the scenes. Because if you really wanted to expose that person, you would put his name out there. And then on top of that, we know that Tyler Perry isn't a saint, but then you're gonna go like a tweet stating that Tyler Perry isn't the one that violated you. Is this some type of game? You know what I'm saying? It does come across like that. And then another thing crossed my mind last night, and y'all don't get mad at me in the comments. I'm just letting y'all know how I feel and what I thought. Like, something came to me and it was like, is this a distraction that was concocted by Diddy to get our attention on something else, or someone else rather? So listen, I don't know. I could be terribly wrong here. And like I said, I'm rolling with Buddy until facts come out and prove otherwise. But anyway, guys, what I want to do right here is play you guys a couple of clips of them talking about the Christian Keys situation, and then I'll be right back.
Hey y'all, listen, I'm still on this Christian Keys situation, and I'm just pissed off on a whole lot of levels about it, because and this got my live. I can't go live because I went live about it. Had about 3,000 people in the room, and somebody reported me, but I don't know if they reported me because I put TP's picture up there. I don't know if they reported me because of the things I was saying about Christian Keys. I don't know, but I know I wasn't being hateful, so hopefully this don't get me blocked from doing uploads. But here's the thing that I have a problem with Christian Keys. Number one, sir, we know you because of Tyler Perry. If it wasn't him, you have the responsibility to clear that man's name. So that's why I put his picture up, because I wanted it to be very clear that that is the perception that you wanted everybody to have. That is the conclusion that you wanted everybody to come to. Because here's the thing, like I said before, if my homegirl just won $1 million, and 2 weeks after that I'd be like, this rich ass girl just tried me, everybody is going to assume it's my homegirl. Why? Because it's my homegirl. And my homegirl just won $1 million. So therefore she is technically rich. Not really, but you know. Anyway, so you have the responsibility to clear that man's name. We all know the billionaire black club, male and female, is real small. The billionaire men club, real small. Now, a lot of y'all remedial ass people who clearly only had 3 people in your classroom mentioned some people that are not billionaires. Lee Daniels is not a billionaire. Hello. Dame Dash just rolled up on him in public about some money, and he agreed to pay him. So clearly he owed it and didn't want to pay it. It wasn't Lee Daniels. Do you know Christian Keys and Lee Daniels to be in any projects together? No, you don't. We know Christian Keys from Medea Go to Jail Play, Saints and Sinners. This last one with Eva Marcel, which is his project. We know him from that. We know him from TP projects. So therefore he has a responsibility to clear that man's name if it wasn't him. Okay. Secondly, it's a money grab, and you know it. And all that was your legal way of extorting someone. Because you can't call somebody and say, I'm going to go live and tell and show videos and show recordings. If you don't pay me, that is a whole felony. But if you go live and say, that man said 15 times, oh, we're going to have a conversation. Oh, we're going to have a conversation. Who the f*** is we? And why you having it with us instead of having it with them? Matter of fact, the police department, why you not having it with them? We don't care. Like, we not in it. Then you said 100 times, and this is how you know it's a real money grab. Buddy done already counted the money in his head. Oh, when I'm in charge, I'm going to speak to everybody. I'm going to treat this. I'm going to treat that. Da, 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 da. So basically you already saying, I know the check coming, and I know I'm going to open up a production company with the money that I get paid from being flirted with for 18 years. And that's exactly what happened. You don't get SA'd. I don't care what y'all say. You do not get SA'd for 18 years. You don't. You get flirted with for 18 years. You get flirted with for 18 years. And just like any other snow bunny, you mad because it's some new snow bunnies that took your place. You really reached on your snow bunny side and pulled that stunt you pulled, Christian. That's what you did. You did what Majors is Jonathan Majors going through right now. That's what you did. And I'm sorry, but I don't feel that we the community should stand behind you simply because you didn't do it right. You was complicit for 18 years as a grown man. You was complicit for 18 years for being SA'd. So you say, allegedly SA'd. Allegedly SA'd. Okay? You was complicit with it for 18 years. You didn't go to the police. You didn't do none of that. See, what we got to do as a people, we got to start saying, when you do it right, we'll support you right. When you do it wrong, we moving on. Because coming to social media with your threats, holding up your devices, talking about we'll notice their voice and all this stuff, that's the last thing. And what lawyer would let you do that, except for a lawyer who's on the money grab? Y'all know y'all ain't gonna ever go public. You're just gonna get the check and keep it pushing. You're hurting a case if you really want to have a case by going public. You never let the opponent know what you're gonna do unless you don't want to do it. And that's why we got to stop saying, oh, we victim bash. And that's why people don't come out. Come out right and we'll support you. But coming out wrong, I can't get with it. Because here's my thing. If you've been going through this for 18 years and you said there's other people on the payroll who grab their ankles and get their money, you are the reason why they are getting SA'd. Because you could have stopped it. See, when we start thinking with that mindset, like it's victim bashing, instead of saying, listen, nah, you got some other people. You got some other people harmed. You got some other people, because had we shut this down 18 years ago, we wouldn't even know about this billionaire. More than likely, they wouldn't be a billionaire. And y'all don't be out here, and you mentioned God several times. Y'all really don't be out here believing in God like y'all say you do. And I'm not judging, but I'm calling you what you are. Because if you believed in God, you just said, I'm going to be a successful black man in the film and industry, and I'm not going to use my looks, and I'm not going to use my sexuality. I'm going to believe in God, and God is going to send the right people away, and the right people my way, and I'm never going to have to, you know what I'm saying, play along, because that's what God do. He matches it up real good, okay? But see, y'all be believing in self, and then you get mad in the end. And then you get mad in the end and want to God. You ain't no different from this billionaire that you're allegedly talking about. You're no different. If you feel like he came in on God coattail, showing us God and this and that and the other, you ain't no different. Because you could have shut it down a long time ago. So those of us who support him and gonna keep supporting him, by the way, I am anyway, we may not have been supporting him this long, and so on and so forth, because we're like, oh well, he's a so yada yada yada. But again, I'm sorry, I don't see this man, neither of these billionaires, as SA presidents. I don't see them as that. I see them as was flirting with you, was greenlighting your projects, was giving you jobs, and you was grinning and showing off skin and flesh and stuff like that, until now that you almost 50, you on the clearance rack, some new, that came through, and you mad. That's all that happened. And last thing I'm going to say is to the LGBTQ community. I want to say this is what the problem I have with the LGBTQ community. People don't really rock with y'all the way they say. And I get tired of people placating y'all and you falling for it. Because this man said numerous times, I'm the only beard in my bed. I'm the only this and I'm the only that. Why was you throwing digs about this person who allegedly did this to you, about them being LGBT? Why was you doing that in a negative light? I'm the only person around here. See, that y'all got to start vetting people, community. Start vetting them, because I believe the ones who really rock with y'all are the ones who just want y'all to live in peace. And the ones who want y'all to be all blah, 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 blah is really the ones who don't rock with y'all. They rock with y'all as long as y'all cut the checks, greenlight the projects. But the minute they can't benefit off y'all, then they want to turn on y'all. But it's the ones who like, hey, live your life in peace, go, do your thing. Those are the ones that's going to rock with y'all solidly or whatever the whole way. And say you deserve to live your life. You deserve to do what you want to do in peace. But these people, they turn on y'all when they ain't getting no money out of y'all. They turn on y'all when they feel like it's not beneficial to rock with y'all. And that's not right. And Christian, you know you wrong for what you did to the LGBT. I'm going to tell you to your face if I ever see you. You was wrong.
Good morning, everyone. It's Miss Dookie. How are you all doing today? I am recovering from acute bronchitis. Still not feeling 100%, but I definitely feel much, much better than I did this weekend. So, I'm gonna come to you this morning with a quick hot chop talking that y'all get a 2-for-1 deal. And so my first hot chop talk is about Christian Juicy Smouye Jr. keys. Guys, I'm telling you, when Juicy Smouye first came out with all of his shenanigans about stuff that happened in Chicago, I called cap on it right then and there. because I knew it was a bunch of bull. And everybody was like, no, you're being too hard, blah, 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 blah. Well, those same people had to go back and eat crow. The same thing with Christian, Z Formation, Keys. I am not, but something that seems so disingenuous about it. And he's doing too much to try to come across as sincere, like, I'm not doing this for money, blah, blah, blah. First of all, what other reason why would you do it? I'm just trying to bring, there ain't no awareness. Because if that was the case, you could have brought awareness years ago when this allegedly happened. Juicy, Keys, Smoothie, Christian, you're full of, and I'm just going to say it, you are full of, I'm not buying it. I just feel like, you're just throwing salt and putting speculation out there that shouldn't happen now. I'm not a big Twyla Twinkle Toes Perry fan. But I just feel like, you're kind of like putting that speculation out there. And people are going to insinuate that that's who it is. And then you're going to have them, you're going to be back feigning innocence like, I didn't say it was him, blah, 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 blah. But everybody needs to want to know you don't have a very, what's the word? Like your IMDb or whatever, as far as like shows and stuff you've been on, like other than Tyler Perry. So, it just don't make sense that we know that's who you're talking about. And then you're gonna be like, somebody charged you $100,000 to your body and you said no. First of all, I feel like you tried to tell them people, whoever it was, that they'll have to give you $100,000 because they offer you $10,000 and then you want $100,000, and because you thinking that your body is all that, and and they didn't fall for it. $10,000, hey, to look at your body. I mean, hell, that's a lot of money. Hell, I'm fat, rolls and everything. Hell, somebody, they got for me $10,000. Hell, they can say, I get $1,000. Look at your body. Hey, you want to look at these rolls for $1,000? Go knock yourself out. But Chris and Key, and I'm not a victim blame or whatever. I don't think you're a victim. I just think that you clout chasing.
All right, guys. So I want y'all to go show So Aries some love on her page. So Aries discovered who this other billionaire is. As you can see up top, it says Robert F. Smith, $6 billion. He's a heavyweight. If you recall, Christian Keys says he met with a black billionaire in Hollywood to discuss funding for his new ventures and was shocked when the man wanted favors in exchange for funding. Keys goes on to say that the man is a philanthropist businessman who paid the student loan debts for an entire HBCU graduating class. Y'all go show So Aries some love. And if y'all want to see something real funny, who is that right above me? Who is that? Isn't that Diddy? So Christian Keys didn't drop names, but he sure as hell dropped some hints. But look at Diddy though. Like they say, birds of a what? Feather flock together.
All right, so you guys just saw and heard that. Now, the first two ladies, I do agree with some of the things they had to say. I disagree with some of the things they also said, right? Now, the third lady was just highlighting the fact that there's another billionaire involved and things of that nature. I want to ask you guys a question, and I want you guys to drop down in the comments and let me know. Should it be a law put in place giving victims of SA a time limit in which they can report it? Because I think that that's what we're slowly creeping up on. I think that there's going to be a law put in place. And if they did put a law in place like that, do you think it would be fair? Because a lot of people are starting to become of the mindset that a lot of people are being compensated for something that happened to them way back then, and they could have put a stop to it by reporting it then, so the same thing that happened to them wouldn't have happened to others. Because a lot of people within the legal field, and trust me, I've talked to my lawyer about this, they're starting to feel that people are being compensated for something that they allowed to happen to others. It's almost like you enabled that particular person that violated you to violate others. So what the hell are we compensating them for? Like, they're just in the wrong. So I'm just telling y'all, look out for it. Look out for it, because I think it's coming down the pipe. Now, with all of that said, let's go ahead and take the time to get into this electrifying email. I want to tell you guys up front, I'm going to have to paraphrase some things, all right? So I'm going to need you guys to work with me and read between the lines. So anyway, it says here, hey, what's happening, my guy? Man, this S right here is ducking crazy, dog. Man, this news is making its rounds through the industry, and I'm telling you, this S right here is some downright demonic and disgusting S. So one of the details that was left out of Cassie's lawsuit was the fact that Diddy would make her save her monthly Louisiana hot sauce. You got that, guys? Her monthly Louisiana hot sauce, I'm paraphrasing here, and store it in containers similar to the plastic cups you use to provide a #1 sample for a DURG test. All right, you got it, guys? Kim Porter also talked about receiving that same request from Diddy on multiple occasions, and Kim said it was used to perform satanic rituals, and members of this secret occult would drink it at their gatherings. Kim says she did it once and declined every time he asked after that, and admitted that they got into several verbal and physical altercations because of it. It's also been said that human mud, you got it, guys, human mud and goats were provided as a part of these rituals. Kim also was going to expose that there's an underground church where these acts are performed, which eliminates the possibility of having cell service. But according to Kim, it didn't stop a camera from being hidden within costume jewelry to capture all the dark and repulsive elements of these demonic encounters. It's been said that the church has 13 floors and goes from the first floor down to the 13th floor, which is the opposite of the normal numerical way of how we count things. Normally we count from the first floor up, which is definitely a representation of the devil, given the fact that the 13th floor is located at the very bottom and the demonic connection to the number 13. According to Blank, and I have to protect this person, Kim was definitely going to cover that aspect within her book. It's also been said that this church is a place they transport H10, and I'm paraphrasing, guys, victims to, as it has been said that this place can easily hold over 2,000 people. Last but not least, Diddy is in the line of fire of Jimmy Iovine because supposedly he coerced a victim to come forward that was supposedly SA'd by Jimmy in 2007. The lady supposedly name dropped Diddy and Cassie in her lawsuit, but their names were eventually taken out of the lawsuit filing that were provided to the public. Jimmy, who was the co-founder and CEO of Interscope, Geffen, and A&M, is said to have been the lightning rod with Clive Davis to trigger the onslaught of cases being filed against Diddy. Diddy had a close relationship with both of them throughout his career, and it's to my knowledge that because Diddy didn't sign some contract with Clive, that a lot of people in top positions within the industry panicked and made it a point to expose Diddy first for his wicked past in an effort to silence him. But if I may add that it's been expressed that the victim who is suing Jimmy contacted Cassie's lawyers to go after Iovine before the New York Survivors Act eligibility was removed. Alright, so you guys just heard all of that, and to protect the integrity of my platform, I will say that the information that I conveyed to you is all alleged, alright? Now, this is very interesting because I've heard this before. You know, a couple of years back, I was in a space where I was fortunate to be around some people within the hip hop realm, and they was talking about this. Now, of course, at the time, there were no names attached to it, but to see this information slide across my desk lets me know that there has to be some truth and validity to it. Now, Jimmy Iovine, ironically, was sued a week after Cassie sued Diddy. And so I find that to be very interesting.
The floodgates are what? The floodgates are open, honey. And the chickens have come home to roost. So less than a week after Cassie filed her suit against Diddy, which was settled, another suit was filed today against the former president of Bad Boy. And now again today, another lawsuit has been filed against a very, very powerful producer, who is Jimmy Iovine. Now, if you don't know Jimmy Iovine, this is him right here. He is the co-founder of Interscope Records. And he played a major role in Death Row Records with Dr. Dre, Tupac. He's worked with Mary J. Blige, Lady Gaga, like super big deal. So let's get into this lawsuit. A woman who is being identified now as Jane Doe claims that she was essayed, forcibly touched, and subjected to harassment and retaliation in August of 2007. The lawsuit includes assault and battery, as well as violations of the New York City Victims of Gender Motivated Protection Act and the New York City Human Rights Law. So, like I said in a previous video, it's looking like Cassie's suit against Diddy was just the tip of the iceberg. And one more thing. The same lawyers who represented Cassie are the same lawyers who filed this suit.
All right, so you guys just heard that. So Jimmy Iovine is thinking that Diddy was behind that. Now, of course, we don't think that Diddy contacted Cassie, but you know, it's not above the realm of possibility that Diddy sought this girl out because he knows dark history and dark information in regards to Jimmy Iovine and Clive Davis. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just think we have too many people at the top very nervous about what they know about each other, and everybody is worried about being exposed and possibly going to jail. But I do think that if Diddy sought this girl out to expose Iovine, isn't it kind of a slap in his face for this girl to go use the same lawyers that Cassie used, and Cassie just filed a lawsuit against him and won millions of dollars? Listen, I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter to what extent they go to take each other down in this particular business. Maybe Diddy could have been of the mindset that these same lawyers that represented Cassie just got millions out of me, so guess what? I don't care if this girl used this same lawyer, they're gonna get millions out of you. This is a tit for tat game. I don't know, y'all. But anyway, I'm gonna let this go right here. I want you guys to drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about everything that was discussed in this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until next time, peace.